everyone, it's Anthony back with another video here on Single and Play Sing. Hi! Hope you're having a fantastic day, weekday, weekend, week, month, evening, morning, overnight, all of that good stuff. I hope you're having a good one. Today we are here with an unboxing. No, I'm just kidding. We're here with a skincare video. This is a finish and review video. I've got another batch of products that I finished up or I'm ready to move on from. And so anytime I get a decent amount of buildup of those, I like to do a little show and tell, talk about my impressions of them, and then get them either in the hands of friends or throw away the empty packaging, just so I can clear that out from my skincare little storage area and move on to some new stuff. So without any delay, let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first product that I wrapped up using is from Face Story. This is their Cloud Puff Gentle Foam Cleanser with Chaga and Oats. This is a really gentle, mild cleanser that includes chaga mushroom for soothing and then some oats for, once again, soothing anti-redness. So this is a really great cleanser for those with sensitive skin, people that can't handle something too intensive. So yeah, it's a really, really nice product. This is a Korean brand, and this product is a foam style cleanser, and it's actually really luxurious and thick. You only need a small amount to get a really good coating of nice lather on your face. You can sit there and massage it around a little bit. No real scent to it. Just has a general kind of cleanser smell, so no added fragrance here, which is nice, at least not anything noticeable. So I really like this. I still have a lot left because a little goes a long way, but I did use it for about a month, and now I'm going to pass it off to my roommate so he can use it as his face cleanser. So I'm ready to move on to something new. Okay, so the next product that we have, or products, are going to be kind of our exfoliation step, that type of thing. So the first two are both from the same brand. This is from Face Theory. This is their Lumizella A10 serum. 10% azelaic acid. It also has some colloidal oat for soothing, aloe vera for hydration, green tea for an antioxidant boost, and soothing once again. So this is a gentle exfoliating serum that also has some calming and soothing benefits. So azelaic acid is a mild AHA or alpha hydroxy acid. So I only use this a few times. I use all of my exfoliating products right after I cleanse. So I like my exfoliation products to be pretty watery in style. That way they absorb quickly. They're not leaving a layer on my face, so I can move on to my toners and stuff without making an uncomfortable kind of skincare soup. I mean, it all ends up that way, but I like to put my moisturizers and creamy products on at the end to kind of seal everything. So unfortunately, this product is a watery cream. You can see that there. And I don't know if it's the oats or some of the products that they put in it. It just doesn't absorb super well. You can see that there. It just kind of gathers. And it takes a while to really get it to sink in on the face. And it does leave a little bit of a moisturized layer, which might be fine for those with dry skin, but because I have oily skin and I like to put toners and stuff on after, I just found that it never really fully absorbed, and in fact it kind of prevented other stuff from absorbing into my skin. Has kind of a Play-Doh kind of oaty kind of scent, no added fragrance, which is nice, but something to keep in mind for those with oily skin. It's a little heavy, and I feel like it didn't do enough AHA or surface exfoliation to my liking. It just wasn't quite strong enough for my acne-prone, oily skin. So I'll probably give this one away to a friend. And then from Face Theory, their BHA Exfoliant Serum Pro, 2% salicylic acid, also has some glycolic acid, chamomile green tea for soothing, and exact same issue that I ran into. I'm not sure if this is the same with all of their exfoliating products. This is done in a serum form, so you have to shake it before you use it. But you can see it comes out as a cream, very similar to the azelaic acid one, and so I just found it to not absorb as quickly as I would like. It kind of just sits on the surface of the skin like a moisturizer. Once again, might be okay for those with super dry skin, but I just found it to kind of impede my routine. Once again, kind of same kind of scent. But yeah, these creamy exfoliators, I guess I didn't realize how creamy or lotion-like they would be, but it just isn't for it's not my style, and it's not really beneficial for my skin, or at least as beneficial as something more fluid and more truly liquid. So there is that one from Face Theory. Not a huge fan of either of those, gonna give those away. And then my empty for my quote-unquote actives or exfoliating step is the Cosrx Vitamin C 23 Super Vitamin E plus Hyaluronic Acid. So this has vitamin E plus 23% vitamin C in it and some hyaluronic acid. I really love this. I keep it in the fridge so it stays fresh for longer. Just one pipette full in the morning, right onto clean skin. Those antioxidants help to support the work that your sunscreen is doing, or help to fight those free radicals, and it helps to brighten dark spots and hyperpigmentation slightly. So I did see that. I saw a more even skin tone. I did just see general brighter skin, plus the antioxidant boost is always welcome. So really liked this. I'm all empty. I may get a replacement of it once I finish up some other vitamin C products, but this is a good one from Cosrx. Okay, next up, I guess we can talk about this wash-off mask. This is from the brand Zit Sticker. You've seen it before. I mentioned it in a previous skincare video. It's their pore vac clearing clay mask. This is a kaolin, I believe, and bentonite clay-based mask that helps to absorb excess oil, just kind of give the appearance of smaller or more reduced pore size. And yeah, it also had some chemical exfoliants in it. I didn't notice too much in the way of it like resurfacing my skin. I think that's just a nice to have, but I wouldn't rely on this to exfoliate. But it's just a nice clay mask for those with oily, acne-prone skin, excess sebum, clogged pores, blackheads. A nice little product. So I definitely like this. I may come back to it. I've got another clay mask or a couple more that I'm working on now, but this is also one that I would consider coming back to. I don't know if I'm in love with these tin or aluminum or whatever it is, the style packaging where you have to squeeze it down. I feel like there's probably a lot of product trapped in all these. And then by the time I got to the end, I was like, really squeezing it to get some out. So I'm sure I could probably get another use out of this, but it was kind of a pain. So that's the only thing, is I'm not a big fan of this packaging, but other than that, a decent product. And it lasted a long time. Okay, so next up we have some sheet masks. So one-time use sheet masks. I was able to get through this Face Story Rice brand one, a nice soothing sheet mask. This one from Be Plain, it's their Cica Full Calming Mask with Centella asiatica. Let's Talk Detox from Face Story. This has charcoal and volcanic ash in it. And then this one's from Face Story again. This is their Everyday Pearl with a pearl extract in it for brightening. All of these I found to be nicely hydrating, maybe some mild illumination. But once again, even though there's all these special ingredients in, this one did help to soothe a little bit and calm some redness. But other than that, anytime I use a sheet mask, I'm just looking for general hydration and kind of a self-care spa moment. I'm not necessarily relying on this to completely brighten my skin or completely quote-unquote detox it. It's more of just the hyaluronic acid, the water content, some of those other ingredients that help to provide hydration. So if your skin's feeling dry or parched or overworked, they're an excellent treat, but not a must-have. They're just a little something special I like to do once in a while. So those are the 4 that I've gotten through recently. And then we can talk about moisturizer. So this is from the brand Troxiderm, and it's their Repair Moisture Cream. I used this in my PM routine video that I did. This is supposed to help with brightening, moisturizing, wrinkle repair. It's got some decent ingredients in it. Oatmeal extract. It's got soybean seed extract in it as well. It's also got chamomile in it, argan oil, beta-glucan, sodium hyaluronate. So a nice middle-of-the-road hydrating and nourishing moisturizer. My problem here was the fragrance, unfortunately. This has quite an intense lavender scent. There's lavender essential oil in here, and my skin just doesn't do well with it. I felt a little irritated. I didn't like the scent just from a sensorial standpoint, so I only used it a couple times. I'm most likely going to give this away, but it's the Troxiderm Repair Moisture Cream. Not something I'd come back to. I love the texture. I think it would probably work well, other than the irritation I got from the lavender oil. So there's that from Troxiderm. That's another Korean brand. Okay, and then we have, let's talk about our SPFs, I suppose. So first up is from Vacation. This is their Classic Lotion Broad Spectrum SPF 50. This is their body sunscreen, and I fell in love with the marketing, the branding. I love this kind of 80s vibe, very retro nostalgic look to the product. I'm really into it. Even kind of the slightly off-white white that they use on their bottles is really cool. I really like it. It uses avobenzone, homosalate, octosalate, and octocrylene for that SPF 50. It also has aloe in it, some shea butter, it looks like coconut oil, some silicones. I found it to work really nicely and offered plenty of protection. It did, after the honeymoon phase of falling in love with the branding, kind of ended towards the end of using this product. It does feel a little heavy, especially with when you're reapplying throughout the day. If you're doing 3-4 applications throughout a day, if you're out in the sun all day, your skin will feel a little heavy, a little bit greasy, the arms and legs, especially in the crook of your arm behind your elbows and then like behind my knees. It just wasn't as light as some other sunscreens. It definitely is a little heavier, but it has this amazing banana, coconut, sea, ocean water kind of scent. It's the perfect like sunscreen vacation on the beach scent, and I love it. I love the smell of summer and being at the beach. And so for that, I will probably repurchase it again because I just love how it smells, and just the vibe of it's really cool. But there are more lightweight, less noticeable on the skin sunscreens out there. But it's worth a try. If you like that kind of scent, you like that kind of Miami Beach summer vibe, then you'll probably really enjoy this one. And it's not a terrible sunscreen by any means. It's just not the lightest and most, featherweight formulation that I've ever used. So definitely one that I'll consider coming back to, if anything else, just for the fun scent and style of it. So there's that from Vacation. I'll try to list all these. Actually, I'm not sure. If I can remember, I'll try to list all these products in the description. Otherwise, I will put the little title cards up so you can do your research. This next product is once again from Vacation. This is their Super Spritz SPF 50 face mist, formulated for daily use and leisure, it says. Broad spectrum SPF 50 water resistant mist. This was awful. Once again, the packaging, incredible. I love the 80s vibe. I just love the styling of it. Fantastic. But it is very high in alcohol, denatured alcohol. And so when you mist it on your face, it can kind of choke you out a little bit with that alcohol scent. And I found it to be very drying on my skin, leaving my skin kind of tight and a little bit of a sheen, not a dewy glow, not a shine, but like a stretched like sheen, like my skin was being really dried out. It just had this kind of film on it of like, help us, we're so dry. So just a lot of excess oil production being kicked up just to counteract the dryness of this. Some people don't really have a problem with the alcohol in their skincare products, but I do, especially in sunscreens. Unfortunately, they just really dry my skin out because I'm reapplying them several times throughout the day. The other thing that's hard with this mist is it's hard to know if you're getting a decent application or not because it's a spray. So if you're outside and it's a little breezy, you go to spray this and half of it just blows off into the air. So I found the best way to use mist sunscreens is to apply it into the palm of your hand, get a little pool of it to make sure you're getting the right amount of sunscreen, and then massage that or rub that into skin. I don't suggest spraying this directly onto your face, especially near your eyes. It will sting and it will burn. So I just don't like spray sunscreens, unfortunately. I did find one that is alcohol free that I'll be trialing here in the next few weeks, so maybe that'll change my mind. But I love the packaging, I love their branding, I love everything about it, other than the actual product itself. But avobenzone, octisalate, octocrylene are the mix here. Aloe is in here. You have some shea oil, green tea extract. There's some good stuff in here, but it's that, let's see how far. Oh, it's the very first ingredient is alcohol, and it's very noticeable. It doesn't feel very good. Maybe you could use it on your body, but I wouldn't put this on my face. So there's Super Spritz SPF 50 face mist. It also has its own fragrance, other than that alcohol. Kind of coconutty, similar to the sunscreen. So there's Super Spritz. And then our final one is from Claire's. It is their all-day airy sunscreen SPF 50 plus PA4 pluses, everyday sun protector, water-based gel texture, irritant test completed, so on and so forth. It's all in Korean on the back, but this is a medium weight face sunscreen, not too heavy, not too light. Good for dry combination skin. Those with particularly oily skin might still feel like this is too thick and heavy, but no fragrance here, applies nicely, provided some nice protection. So it's a good middle of the road basic face sunscreen that I would consider coming back to. I have a lot of others that I'm going to be trialing, especially other Korean brand ones. So this is still kind of on the top of the charts right now this summer, but there's still more to come. But so far, a good pick from Claire's all day airy sunscreen. So there's that one. I went through that so fast, or went through that sunscreen so fast. So I do have something that I'm not finished with, but I probably won't be mentioning it too much because I'm going to start trying some other things. But this is Solve Skincare. This is their 100% organic jojoba oil. It's a cold pressed jojoba oil of a really high quality and processed for skincare. And it's one of my favorite products. It's a single ingredient. It's just jojoba oil. So anytime my skin is feeling parched or needs a little bit more of a layer to protect it and so it can help build some more natural moisture, I will just mix a few drops of this in with my moisturizer just to boost it. Turn that maybe lightweight, watery moisturizer in the summer. I might need to amp it up a bit occasionally, so I'll put a few drops of oil in it just to boost it slightly. So that's why I've only used about half of it, and I've had it for a really long time because it only gets used sparingly, more throughout the winter than anything else, but just a few drops per day is really all you need. I'm keeping an eye on it. Jojoba oil does have that natural color, but this is nearing its expiration date, so I just want to keep an eye on it. If it starts to discolor or brown, then I will discard it. But since it is a single ingredient, I'm less concerned about it, churning. But I will keep an eye on it, just like any other oil you might have in your house where it's like, oh, this is a little old. So I'll just keep an eye on it. But for now, I'm going to continue using it. But I wanted to mention it here because it does last so long that it would be ages before I get it empty to talk about it. So we're going to talk about it now, but it's going back on the shelf. I'll be using it at some point in the future. So there's that. And then we have some cleansing wipes. So this is from Neutrogena. This is their fragrance-free makeup remover. Ultra soft cleansing towelettes. So these are 25 plant-based compostable towelettes, which I like. I can compost these. And I like them. They're decent. I use these when I'm out hiking or out in the sun and sweating and I've got a bunch of sunscreen on. Rather than putting a layer of sunscreen on top of the sweat and grime and stuff, I will use a cleansing cloth, wipe my face really good when I'm on the trail, and then use a face mist or something and then put sunscreen on that. So it's not I'm not fully cleansing my skin. I'm just kind of wiping off some of the very superficial debris just so it doesn't feel as gross, but I'll still go home and wash my face. I don't use this as a substitute for washing my face. So this has some silicones in it, some surfactants in it, some very gentle cleansers, but nothing in the way of like skincare benefits. Like I'm not seeing like, ooh, it's got aloe in it or it's got XYZ for hydration. This is literally like just get your makeup off and that's it. Because of the silicone, they don't wipe stuff away, leaving you feeling necessarily refreshed or clean. You do feel like you have a little layer of something, but at least it gets rid of that surface sunscreen, any dirt and debris. So they are good for that. And they can be refreshing in the sense of getting all that off, but I don't wipe these off and I'm like, wow, my skin feels completely clean and ready to rock and roll. It's more of just trying to get a little bit off so it doesn't feel as cumbersome to have so much sunscreen on. So yeah, so there's those. I used them all. I just use these at hiking when I'm out and about, even if I'm driving around in the car all day and I'm not going to be back at the house for a while. I'll even sit in the car and redo my sunscreen and face mist with these. So there's that. These aren't the only brand I use. We'll get that to there right now, but I do have a couple of packages of those because I got them on sale. So once that was empty, I needed to reach for a new one, and so I had these from Sephora, and they're their watermelon cleansing wipes, 20 wipes. These were awful. Well, not awful, but they just were really dry. The product was, there wasn't much fluid on each of the towelettes. I felt like I was rubbing a dry cloth on my face. So they come out like this. There's a little something there, but they're not nearly as damp as like other cleansing cloths. It feels like they might be old. Like I can't even squeeze anything out of them. They might be old. The watermelon scent, even though I like an artificial watermelon scent, these are a little too artificial and plasticky smelling. I don't know. There's just something off about them. And the fact that they're rather dry and then they have this pretty quilted texture to them, pretty intense texture. I usually like that because it'll grab oil, it'll grab sunscreen, but when it's dry, it felt a little scratchy. So I just did not like these. I used them twice when I was out and about for one day, and I was like, I feel like I'm not doing anything. Like, it's just like a dry towel. I don't know. I'm not a fan of them. They didn't really seem to do anything. I only used like 2 or 3 of them, and I was like, no thanks. So they were, I believe, on clearance. I got them for a couple of bucks, and maybe there was a reason for that. So I'm just not super into these, so I'm probably gonna throw them away, unfortunately. So those are that's the Sephora, their like in-house brand. And then the last thing I have is a deodorant, and this is from the brand Necessaire. It's their deodorant gel. This is in the scent eucalyptus. They have, I believe they have a cream deodorant that they had at one point, but this is a relatively new product, and it's a roll-on. So this is filled with a liquid that has different acids in it that'll help to combat the bacteria that causes body odor under your armpits. So it helps to neutralize that so you don't get as stinky throughout the day. And this has some eucalyptus oil in it to give a eucalyptus scent. They also make one in fragrance-free, which I didn't get because they didn't have it in store at Sephora. They only had it through online. And in the moment, I just wanted to get something in my hands and take home with me. So I reached for this one. I will say it went pretty quick. When you roll it on, it dispenses a decent amount of product. So this doesn't last as long as like a stick of deodorant would for me. The other thing that I noticed with this is even though it does deodorize and neutralize the scent and leave that kind of nice eucalyptus scent behind, it is not at all waterproof. So if you are particularly sweaty or are sweating actively, this can kind of run off and then you start to smell right away. When I wore this when we went to the water park and was it the water park? Yeah, I think so. I wore it somewhere where, yeah, I was at the water park and I wore it, and as soon as I got in a pool, when I got out, I started to stink because this had rinsed off and now the bacteria is kind of repopulating or able to do its stuff. It wasn't immediately, but like halfway through the day, I was like, what is that? It was me because my deodorant stopped working. So that's the one thing about this. If you're going to be playing in the water or sweating excessively, this probably isn't your jam, but for day-to-day use, it's a nice alternative to a traditional deodorant. I don't believe in the whole aluminum this and that, but this does work. The acids in this do work to help deodorize. It's just not waterproof or not water resistant. And I have used a lot of these natural deodorants before, and they've always given me some kind of rash, or I'll get like an odd breakout under my arms. This is the first one that hasn't done that. So that did make me happy. I just wish it was a little bit more potent for those of us that are active or in the water. But there's the Necessaire Deodorant Gel Eucalyptus. So that's it. That is all of my kind of finishes or empties from the skincare realm this time around. I will most likely have another batch of them coming up in the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for more. But yeah, if you have any questions about those products, if you've seen anything that you've tried before or would like to try, make sure to leave that in the comments. Otherwise, don't forget to like, subscribe, share this content with friends, family members, anyone that you think might take some value out of it. And happy placing. We'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Bye.